there were different ways to deal with the requirements of the standardized designs. And here I come then to the still preliminary conclusions, preliminary in the sense that it's still ongoing research, where I focus now on the political dimensions and unintended effects. And there we can see that these standards actually create tensions between what is defined globally and what is done and what it means locally. So standards are actively framed and pushed by organizers and experts to attract and discipline followers. Standardization of design also unfolds constraints stronger than local needs for diversity, based which are actually reasoned by divergence in culture, political tradition, or certain expertise, also in public participation or biodiversity. And so the claim of doing the same design, which was framed by the Danish Board of Technology and the central organizers as something that gives legitimacy to the whole process. Only if we aggregate and only if we present it in a standardized way, policymakers will understand us. Only if we show it in a standardized way, this process will get acceptance. But actually by framing it like this, they produce diversity, because on either this design was only treated in a very functional way on local level, or it produced also resistance and designs were actually implemented also opposing to the global design. So the other aspect that I want to mention here is the dimension of power and hierarchy in this coordination process, and I just summarize it now with the motif of steer global, follow local. So there was actually, in the end, also a success, one could say, that even if there were these tensions, the whole process worked out. It was a working public participation process, because the very critical partners, they just decided in the very beginning they will not participate. There were others who were critical, but they had the space just to implement also locally designs that diverged. And other partners who were less experienced with public participation were also actually very thankful for this centralized guidance. So to come to the end, I just want to maybe just highlight some questions that this case can also raise for further discussions on issues of how global public participation could also be designed in the future. And I think there it is quite relevant to have a reflexive approach on how public participation could also be designed differently, and how designs could be constructed differently. And therefore it is for me still an open question, like what actually means global public, and how local divergence can be expressed in this, but also how global public shows its interest in itself. This case, of course, is a very good illustration of what organizers think citizens need, but citizens themselves did not very much express like how they would like to have a framework for discussion on global issues. Maybe just to relate it a little bit more also to the context of the conference, I think that it's quite interesting also to think further about like what means European public participation also in times of crisis. I mean, do we leave the project of Europe to financial and political interpretations now of the crisis, or is there any interest of citizens themselves to define a European public? Thank you.
Thank you for your very nice and global presentation. Vai apresentar uma comunicação perfeitamente enquadrada na temática do painel. O seu título é precisamente Cidadania Digital.
realizando a minha tese de doutoramento do programa doutoral de alterações com o professor Figueiredo Romário Marques e com o professor Eduardo Santos. A minha tese incide sobre a integração dos conceitos de sustentabilidade e de justiça ambiental nas tarefas da cidadania. Portanto, daí, de facto, interessar-me também esta temática, deste novo conceito. Eu não lhe chamaria bem conceito, mas já iremos ver isso um pouco mais à frente, de cidadania digital. Portanto, nesta apresentação eu vou tentar referir alguns dos pontos que são relevantes não só para a minha investigação, mas também para o estado da arte sobre o tema, que ainda não é, dada a recente emergência, não é ainda muito abrangente, nem muito amplo, mas pronto, começaria por enquadrar um pouco de facto, a cidadania, portanto, e no seguimento de um pouco da apresentação anterior, os principais problemas que nós enfrentamos hoje são de cariz global.